Bruno, Brauweiler, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Jeremy joins us as well, and Stuart Howe. And there's a whole bunch of folks, one of the most active We Are Change. These are just grassroots groups. You believe 9/11 is an inside job, government-sponsored terror, you want to defeat the New World Order, you can create your own We Are Change. There's no central group. I get calls saying, are you the head of We Are Change? Do you secretly run it? No. I don't even know 99% of these people. These are volunteers out asking real questions at media events. General Myers is quite a snake. Stuart Howe, Bruno, Jeremy. I've got this video. We posted it days ago. I know it's at We Are Change, LA, WACLA.org. But we're going to play some of it after the break. But in a nutshell, why was it so important? Whoever wants to speak up first, go ahead. Maybe Stuart wasn't there, but Bruno was. I know Jeremy was. But you guys have been at many other events as well, confronting people. Why was this important? Who is General Myers, for people that don't know?
This is Jeremy.
Go for it, Jeremy.
Thank you very much, Alex, for having us on, and I appreciate all the good work that you're doing. Richard Myers was the acting head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff on 9/11, while the real head was out of town, like many other important people on that day. And since that day, he's changed his story numerous times about where he was when the building that he operates out of, the Pentagon, was hit. And he doesn't.
And Cheney has changed his story too, repeatedly. But go ahead.
And he doesn't appear to desire to really clear his whole role in all of this up. He doesn't want to come really clean about all of these mimetic war games and terror drills that were occurring at the same time that the terror attacks actually were pulled off. So at this point, at the very least, he's considered a suspect in the 9/11 blackout.
Oh, I'll say it. No way he wasn't involved. He was in there making sure NORAD stood down. That's on record. I'll say it. General Myers is complicit.
I'm with
That's
you,
why
Alex.
we labeled him a criminal, even though the justice system is not yet brought him to justice.
Hold on. One at a time. We got two folks talking, and I'm getting a little bit of static on these lines. Who was jumping in there?
Bruno, this is Bruno. I just want to agree that we need to call the criminals out for who they are. He's a 9/11 criminal, and that's how we labeled the video. General Myers is a 9/11 criminal.
Yeah. Who's got the crackly line there, or is somebody on the same line together?
I'm not sure.
That's Bruno's line. Bruno, I'm going to let you go in a moment. I want to have you guys back up for a full hour soon because your line's bad. But we'll come back to the other two guys after the break. Bruno, are you still there? I was going to let him go after he finished his point. Go ahead.
I think we need to call out all the criminals for who they are. Call them criminals. They are not. We've reached a threshold in the 9/11 Truth Movement. It's growing quickly. These people are getting scared, and let's just call them what they are. They're treasonous traitors, 9/11 criminals, and let's not be nice about it anymore.
Yeah, there's no doubt they stood down NORAD. There's no doubt they ran the exact drills, the exact targets being hit at the exact time. Bruno, you had a lot of courage. So did Jeremy and Stuart Howe as well, counting countless others confronting them. To go into this crowd, and then these neocons assault you as you agree to leave. They hit you, punch you, and cuss at you, and hit you hard with pleasure and enjoyment.
It's true.
Yeah, it's sick, but we kind of knew that was going to happen when we went in, and it's just part of, you have to, the intensity of the moment, it's so rewarding just to stand up and tell the truth. And I handed out Oath Keeper cards to many people, veterans in the audience, before I stood up. If people aren't aware of what Oath Keepers are, you should look it up, because police officers, military are responding really positively to that. They're fast-growing.
Well, if I've ever seen spook and bad intelligence people, those were old retired spooks that were attacking you. And just shameful people. Stay there, gentlemen. I want to come back to you and briefly get into what happened while you were there and tell folks to go to the website, WACLA.org. My sites are prisonplanet.tv, Infowars.com. I am Alex Jones, and I was there at the beginning of the 9/11 Truth Movement, and I pray to be there at the end when these criminals are brought to justice. Stay with us.
Are you concerned for the safety of your loved ones? Listen closely to this message from pepperspray.com. Every 22 seconds a violent crime is committed. America has changed, and your personal safety is your first priority. Be smart. Be safe. Trust Pepper Spray instead of your luck. Pepperspray.com is the only website you'll ever need for all of your non-lethal self-defense supplies. Pepperspray.com carries one of the largest assortments of pepper spray and personal safety products on the web. From big to small, we have it all. Pepper spray, mace, animal repellents, stun guns, and tasers. Pepperspray.com also carries a large assortment of products for personal, home, child, and pet safety. Enter SAFE in the coupon box and you'll receive a special discount off of your order. So what are you waiting for? Go to pepperspray.com. That's pepperspray.com or call 1-800-908-9988 today.
In closing, we let Bruno go because of his bad line. Bruno really got roughed up by these guys, but they were so cowardly. They're saying, get out, but they're trying to hold him there for the police. Get out! And they hold you so they can get you for trespassing at a public event, or he actually bought a ticket for it, and then shoving him. Finishing up, Bruno and is gone, but Jeremy and Stuart Howell, both very articulate, great research. I'm familiar with both of your work. Met Stuart a few times. Finish up with what happened in this event.
So this is Jeremy, and so Bruno stood up and called out General Richard Myers and asked him how we could trust him when he's clearly contradicted his own stories around 9/11. And then quickly he was booed, and a private individual was the primary one to try to push him out as he tried to warn people about their freedoms being taken away. And then he was taken out, and then a few moments later, I couldn't handle it because they were applauding and they were apologizing to the alleged general for him having to deal with this, and so I couldn't take it. So I stood up and I said that man was telling the truth. He has changed his story. And at that point, the same private individual came over and dragged me out into the aisle, and then gave me a chokehold and pulled me out while I asked whether this was America and whether he was a patriot. And then when we finally got out, he told me, there were children in there. He was disturbed that I had made him do violence in front of the children. So it was a very interesting sort of.
No, that's always the mental illness of a tyrant, is to then say, you hurt children. Oh, I just took you to a FEMA camp. You made me do this. You're so bad. What a little punk, you know.
But what was great was that once we got outside, one lone proud citizen came out and verified to the police that I had been choked and that many of the people in the audience had been clapping. So and not that he agreed with my action, but he stood up for my right to take that action. So it's always the lone individual who stands up who becomes the bastion of freedom in the future.
Yeah, or the cops were going to take you to jail for daring to buy a ticket and then go in and ask a question at an event, and you were going to go to jail for being choked. That's how the twisted justice works now in this country, but people are standing up and saying no.
Right. And we realized later that I failed to give the direct command to the police officers to go in and apprehend the man, saying that I wanted to press charges.
Yeah, you got to tell them you must. I'm filing a complaint. I've been assaulted. You've got to tell them to go after him. Real fast, anything from Stuart about what's happening?
Thanks, Alex. Yeah, I was in the periphery on this one, but I'm just so proud of everybody in change. It's just we all have our opportunities to stand up when we can, how we can. The way you put it before we came on, I thought was great. This is real, and we're genuine people doing our best because of the weight and the gravity of the importance of what's going on. So, I'm just thrilled about what's going on, not only with us out here, but across the country. At every opportunity, people are standing up and saying the emperor wears no clothes, and we're just doing our best, man.
And what it comes down to in the final equation is, you're good out there. Those of you listening, that you are a patriot, that you're not New World Order, that you have great ideas. Become leaders. Go to press conferences. Ask real questions. Start a blog. Get involved. All that evil men and tyrants need to flourish is for good men and women to do nothing. Well, the website's WACLA.org, WACLA.org, WeAreChangeLA.org. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to have you guys all on for a full hour next week. to break down all the great work you're doing and talk more. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Alex.
You bet. We'll be right back with Walter Williams. Stay with us.